Hello, everyone, and welcome to our first session of Mommy and Me. I am so excited to be here, and I hope you are too. So, I want to talk a little bit first about the purpose of Mommy and Me and why um, I came up with this class. My name is Sierra, for those of you who may not know me, and I am a licensed cosmetologist and I am a cosmetology natural hair instructor. I'm also a mom, and being a mom, a single mom, helping other moms is something that's very dear to my heart. So, my daughter is 10 years old, and when I first had my daughter, for like the first 3 years, she did not have any hair. And I was just hoping and praying, like, Lord, I'd be glad when she gets a little bit of hair. So when she finally reached about 3 years old and she started to get hair, that's when I started really diving into creating different styles and finding different techniques. Also, my daughter's hair is much different than what I am used to. So that also helped me to prepare for this journey as well because prior to having my daughter, I knew that I knew hair. But once I had her and realized that her hair texture is completely different from mine and also different from a lot of textures that I had dealt with in the past, it kind of created this whole movement of me trying trial and error, finding products that work, what didn't work, and basically that's how I got here. So I'm excited to be able to pour into other moms because again, I know how it is to have daughters. You know, some people have more than one child. Thank God I only have one. And I cannot imagine what it would be like to have to do my hair or pay somebody to do my hair as well as do my daughter's hair. And then when I think about other moms who may have more than one child, it's like, wow, like I can't imagine. Thankfully, I know how to do hair and I keep my hair up and I keep my daughter's hair up. But I also want to help other moms save coins, save a little bit of money. So that's another reason why I created this whole Mommy and Me series. I do want to highlight that this Mommy and Me class does not replace a licensed stylist. You should and your child should still see a stylist every season. So every spring, summer, fall, and winter, I like to encourage my clients as well as others that go see a licensed stylist. And the reason why is because in order to maintain and achieve healthy hair, you have to upkeep with your trims and your treatments. Okay, so every spring, summer, fall, winter, you should be booking an appointment to see a stylist to get a deep conditioning treatment, a protein treatment, whatever treatment that you may need, and also a trim. Okay, so we'll talk about the importance of that later on in the class, but I just wanted to highlight that this class does not replace going to see a licensed stylist. However, it will save you some coins on keeping up and managing your hair in between time. Okay, so our class today is going to cover detangling because before I can teach you any styles, we have to cover the basics and learning how to properly detangle. So I have my mannequin here. And this is the mannequin that we're going to be using. And her hair may look a little familiar to you all. It may look a little like what your child's hair may look like coming out of braids, or just normal wear and tear with them playing outside, going to school. We all know the kids don't really care about what they got going on with their hair. When it's time to have fun, they want to have fun. So first thing I want to cover is the tools that you may need in order to make your detangling and your wash days successful. So first, I want to cover the actual tools that I find are very helpful when it comes to detangling and styling your child's hair. So first, we have this detangle brush, and I'll come up closer to, okay. So this is my go-to detangle brush. It's like the off-brand of the Unbrush. A lot of people use the Unbrush, but I got this brush from my local beauty supply store. And this right here is a game changer when it comes to detangling natural hair. You want to make sure that you get this brush. It's a lifesaver. And then we also have wide tooth combs. I do have three different wide tooth combs because wide tooth combs come in different sizes, and um you can kind of trial and error to see which one you like. The one in the middle, the purple one, this kind of handle and this detangle comb is my favorite. This is one I like to use. This one is smaller for like braids or any like little tangles that you're trying to get out. This one will help with that. And then of course you have this wide tooth. All right. And then I also have another type of detangle brush. I got this one off of Amazon. I know this one might look familiar as well. It has a adjuster that you can put on it too to help with detangling. This one is okay. This one is okay. I got this one before I found out about this one, but I still want to highlight what I use because everybody's hair is different, and some of you may like this one better. Some of you may like this one better. You just have to try it out and see. There's no right or wrong to it. Okay, now as far as products wise, I'm going to go over the products and things that you need. You want to make sure that you never detangle hair dry. Okay, detangling hair dry is going to cause it to break. It's going to cause it to split the ends. You're not going to get a tear-free detangling process if you're trying to detangle the hair while it is dry. So there are a few things that you need in order to detangle the hair to wet it up or lubricate it some. Okay, first I want to go over my leave-in conditioners that I love, and one of them is the coconut milk leave-in conditioner, and the other one is the honey almond leave-in conditioner. All right. Now these two are made by Influence, my favorite. The coconut milk is water based. The honey almond is cream based. All right. I like the water based coconut milk. But for the thicker hair clients that have thick heads, or your child who they have thick hair. I said thick heads. I didn't mean thick heads, but thick hair. Then the cream based may be something that you like too. Water base is more for your finer textures, but I basically use the water base on everybody, to be honest. All right. You're also gonna need, well, it's optional. You don't have to have it, but you also to have on hand is the skin and scalp antiseptic. This is a great detangler as well. It's in a liquid form. I usually put it in a spray bottle and spray it on the hair. You want to be careful with kids when using this on the scalp because it does have eucalyptus oil, clove oil, peppermint oil, and we all know that those oils have a little tingle to them. So, of course, with kids, they're going to say it's burning, which is really not burning. It's a tingle feel that it may feel, but I like to use this towards the ends of the hair. And if they are coming out of braids, and you know how sometimes when you come out of braids, you have a lot of that lint and buildup at the core of the braid. I will spray just a little bit, not on the scalp, just a little bit where that dirt and debris is, just to kind of loosen it up. So this is good to have as well. All right. Of course, you need your spray bottle with water. You can never go wrong with water. You can spray the hair, mist the hair first, then spray your leave-in conditioner and go about your detangling process. And last but not least is my go-to Hawaiian Silky. I came across this because for my daughter's hair, this is about the only thing that really works with us detangling her hair. I've tried the coconut milk. Although I love Influence, I tried the coconut milk. I tried the honey almond. But this right here does wonders when it comes to detangling her hair. So I always like to keep it on hand for maybe those kids or children that are very, very sensitive. My daughter is very, very tender-headed. She's getting better over the years, but she is very tender-headed and very sensitive. So this right here is the only thing that I have found that will help us in our detangling process. And this is the old school, like Jerry curl Hawaiian silky, but this is the Miracle Worker 14 in 1. It's a moisturizer. It's very thick and creamy, but it does the job. So these are just a few products that you can have on hand. You also need some clips. These are like alligator clips, sectioning clips, maybe some rubber bands or scrunchies, and then also maybe a small two comb just for the hard to get tangles out. Sometimes you need a smaller comb just to get the little tangles out. So that's just a little bit about the products and stuff that I use when it comes to detangling. I did want to give you a few tips before we get into the actual detangling. I want to give you a few tips just to kind of help you with your process. And I'm looking down because I have my notes and I want to make sure that I don't miss anything. All right, so the tip number one, because we are dealing with kids, we are dealing with our children, so we want to make this process as easy as possible, not only for you, but for your child as well. So tip number one that I have in helping to prepare your child mentally for this is to choose the right time. Okay, you want to set yourself up for success, and you want to set your kids up for success. You have to choose the right time when to do their hair. Now, I know when I was growing up, you really couldn't negotiate with your parents. It was whatever they said, that's what you had to do. But as we know, these generation of kids are a little bit different, and the process will go a lot smoother if we choose the right time and we let our kids know what's going on. So when I say choose the right time, I mean don't do it when they're hungry. Don't do it when they haven't had a nap. You know what I'm saying? Set yourself up. Maybe do it early in the morning after they done got up, after they got their breakfast, the energy is kind of high. Maybe that's a good time to do it. Also, I would suggest to do this process on a day that you don't have anything else to do. So maybe like a Saturday or something where you're not pressed for time, because sometimes this can take you a couple of hours, especially if you're first starting out trying it out anyway. Okay, so make sure you tip number one, choose the right time. Tip number two, let them participate. So let your kids participate. Give them the detangling brush. Let them try to detangle their hair. Give them a tool. Let them spray maybe the leave-in conditioner, or maybe let them spray the water on their hair as well. Tip number three, create a calm environment. Play music. Give them a tablet. Give them their favorite toy. Create a calming environment so that this process will be easy for you. Tip number four, normalize the process. Again, like I was saying, growing up, when I was growing up, you really just had to do whatever your mom told you to do. However, we can normalize the process by talking this process through with our child. So you let them know exactly what it is that we're gonna do. So for example, my daughter's name is London. So London, the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna part your hair in four sections. Well, you can help mommy part it in four sections. Let them know what process is going on and what they are doing. And lastly, tip number five, use positive reinforcement. Let them know, give them small rewards when they do good. When you maybe you finish a section and they wasn't moving around, they weren't crying. Give them praise, give them a reinforcement, give them a reward, something to look forward to. Say, well, hey, maybe we can go ahead and get through this. Then mommy can take you to Starbucks, or mommy can take you to the playground. Give them something to look forward to, because you have to understand that this process is something for them too. We all know, a lot of us have been traumatized by our parents as kids. Thank God that we're not even talking about a straightening comb. But we have all been traumatized by our parents as kids when it comes to doing hair. So it's important to make sure that you use these tools to kind of help not only yourself but your child in this process, so they don't grow up being traumatized. Because to be honest, I still have some adults that are traumatized. When I take that straightener, or when I take that hot comb to go to their hair, they about to jump out the chair because they just haven't had good experiences growing up as children. We want to make sure that we're setting ourselves and our kids up for success. So let's get to the fun part where we actually get into detangling. Okay. So this mannequin has some braids in the front. I went on and took the braids out before class. And I will do another class to teach you exactly how to take your braids out. But whenever it comes to detangling, I like to work in sections. Okay, I am a sections girl. I like to work in sections. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to split the hair with my fingers. I'm going to finger split the hair with my fingers first, and I'm just going to separate the hair in four sections. It does not have to be perfect. It does not have to be, accurate. I'm just taking my fingers and I'm just separating the hair in four sections. Now, four sections is generally what I like to do. However, depending on what kind of style that your child is coming out of, you may have to use more than four sections. It is fine. Just work in sections. Whatever you do, work in sections. I don't care how many sections you get, but work in sections. So I have already detangled the mannequin's hair. Not detangled, but separated mannequin's hair in four sections. So part down the middle, ear to ear, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. All right. I find that working in sections just helps me get to my final result quicker, and I can actually see what's going on. So once you split your four sections, you're going to section them off with a clip for each section. Now, this is a pretty big section, right? This back section right here is a pretty big section, but you don't have to detangle all of this at one time. Now, as you get experience and as you do this several times, you may be able to go ahead and take this whole section and detangle it at one time. However, I'm going to split it in half. All right, so I'm taking this section and I'm going to split it in half. Notice that I have not picked up a comb yet. I am using my fingers to detangle. Okay, you will find that finger detangling first will save you a lot of tears and things. If you use your fingers to separate and detangle the hair. Okay. So remember, I told you that you cannot detangle the hair while it is dry. If you detangle the hair while it's dry, you're going to cause more breakage and more problems, more friction to the hair, more split ends to the hair. So you want to always start with the hair wet. Okay. So I'm going to use my spray bottle and I'm just going to mist the hair a little bit. Not a lot because water swells up the hair. So we don't want to put a lot of water where it's dripping wet. We just want to mist it a little bit just to soften it up. All right. Now you're going to take your product of choice. I'm going to use a little bit of the coconut milk conditioner. And as you see, I'm picking up the hair and I'm spraying in between, making sure that I distribute the conditioner all throughout the hair. And again, I am finger detangling. I have not picked up a comb. I have not picked up a brush. I am taking my fingers and I'm just kind of separating the curls and the coils. You want to use your fingers first. All right. Now, a good tip for detangling is start at the ends. All right. I always start with my brush and then I go in with my comb and then I go back to my brush, making sure that I get all the tangles out. Now, you want to make sure that when you are brushing the hair, starting out, you're gonna hold it like this, not like this. You're not gonna take your brush and hold it like this. You're gonna hold it like this. All right, straight up and down. All right, so I'm gonna start straight up and down, and I'm gonna start at my ends. Notice I'm holding the hair right above the ends. So I'm holding the hair right above the ends. Once that brush goes through all the way, now I can move up some more. All right. And I'm doing it on the front, and then I'm also doing it on the back. Just like that. All right. I got that. Now I'm going to take my wide tooth comb, and then I'm going to go through with my wide tooth comb, just making sure that I get all the tangles out. Because sometimes you can use your brush, and it feels like it's detangled, but then when you go into your comb, you'll get those small tangles that are trapped inside that you may not have gotten. All right. So once I do that, and that comb goes all the way through, I'm going to get my brush one more time, starting at the ends and working my way up. Now, a lot of times When the hair is hard to detangle, it's a sign that you need a trim. Okay. If the hair detangles good at the root, but then when you get to the ends, the comb gets stuck and it's hard to pull through. That's an indication that you need a trim. This is why you have to go get your trims every season, because if you don't handle those trims, it will make the detangling process hard too. All right. So whenever that comb starts getting stuck, that's an indication that you need to trim. You need to get those dead ends off. This time I'm gonna go in with my Hawaiian Silky. I'm gonna spray a few pumps, open up the hair, spray in between. Before I pick up a comb, before I pick up a brush, I'm going to take my fingers and I am going to finger detangle first. Once I get that, I'm gonna hold the hair at the roots, grab my brush, starting at the ends, top and bottom, like so. Once I get all those tangles out, then I can move up to the top. Then once I get finished, I am going to take my comb. Notice that I'm brushing through the whole, I'm combing through the whole section, making sure I got all my tangles. I'm coming back with my brush one more time, making sure I'm going on top of the hair, the bottom of the hair, and I am done. Now, there's two things you can do from here. All right. I'm not gonna go through each section for the sake of time. I'm not gonna go through each section, but basically you're gonna do each section just like we just did this one. And I may go over each section. But I do also want to point out that you can leave the hair like this if you want to. Or if your child has a tighter, coilier textured hair that likes to draw up, I will take it in my sections and I will twist it. So after I detangle it, because you still got to finish the other sides. So some people, if your child has very kinky, coily hair that shrinks really, really bad, sometimes by the time you get to this part, you feel like this part has already tangled back up because it's done shrunk up so much and it's done tightened up so much. So to prevent that, what I do is after I section the hair, I will put a twist. So now I'm gonna go in and just two strand twist. And twist the section all the way down. And this just keeps the hair stretched and it also keeps it from tangling again. All right. Now you may also say, well, Sierra, I don't know how to twist, because some people don't know how to twist. If you don't know how to twist, then you can bend two knots and clip it. So what I mean by bend two knots, I'm gonna grab the section of hair and I'm gonna just twist it. And just keep twisting it in the same direction. And as you twist it, it's going to create like a knot. And once it creates that knot, you're going to wrap it around and then you're going to clip it. So those are two things that you can do in order to keep the hair maintained while you go through the other sections. All right. Now I am going to do this section right here. Now, you see I'm getting stuck with this section because this side is a little bit more tangler than the other side. Separate it in two. I'm going to lightly mist it with water. Right. I'm going to take my leave-in conditioner, spray it, pick up the hair, make sure I'm getting it in the inside. I'm going to take my fingers and I am going to finger detangle. Then I'm gonna get my brush, starting at my ends. When I start at the ends, I'm gonna hold the hair at the root, start at the ends, top, bottom, side. Now I'm gonna get my comb through, get my brush one more time, making sure I got all the kinks out. And then I'm gonna go ahead and just twist this section. Now I'm gonna tell you another trick while I'm still working on this back. London was so tender-headed that I started after I will go through this process and I will detangle her hair, I will wash her hair in the twist. So what I mean by that is I would not take the twist out. So once I detangled it and I twisted up the hair, I will leave the twist in and I wash her hair in the twist. You got to do what you got to do. I'm telling y'all, it works. All right. So if your child is extremely tender-headed and if this process took you long enough and you're frustrated, they're frustrated, and you don't want to take the twist out, you can wash their hair in the twist and it'll be just fine. All right. In the next class, we're going to cover shampooing and the importance of shampooing and how many times you need shampoo and what type of shampoo to use. So I'll go over that in the next class, but it is okay to keep these twists in and wash your child's hair. Now, if your child does not have tight coily hair that will stay twisted like this, you can apply a rubber band or something at the ends if you're going to wash it with the twist in just to lock it in and wash the hair like normal. Okay, so that is our detangling process. I am going to open the floor for any questions in person, but before I do that, I am going to end the recording for our virtual audience. Thank you all so much for joining our detangling first mommy and me class. If you have any questions, anything that you want me to answer in the future, or if you want me to create reels to answer your questions, please link your questions in the comments below. And I promise you that I will answer them and address them and make sure that I give you the answers that you desire. Make sure that next time you come join us live and in person, because live and in person gives us the opportunity to really be able to break down and answer the questions that you may have. It's so much better when you're live and in person. You can also bring your kids. You can come by yourself if you want to, but if you want to bring your child in here, you want me to look at their hair, you want me to give you any suggestions, I am open to it. This is why I created that space. So I want to thank you all to the virtual audience. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you like, make sure you share, and make sure you join us on this journey and try to attend a class live the next time. All right. See y'all.